Hello everyone and welcome back to Where in the World, a series of podcasts here on Go Westeros. In this episode, just like we did last time, we will be looking at 3 minor houses of Westeros, what they've been up to, where in the world they are, and how they pertain to the overall story as it's being told. In last week's episode, we looked at houses Umber, Piper and Rosby, and this week we will be looking at House Crakehall of the Westerlands, House Caswell of the Reach, and House Mallister of the Riverlands. At this point, I should mention that this does contain spoilers for all 5 novels of A Song of Ice and Fire, so if you're not up to date, I would not continue on much further. I'm Jack, your host, and let's dive right into it. None so fierce are the words of House Crakehall from the Westerlands. They are one of the primary houses of that region, and their lordly seat of Crakehall is located along the Ocean Road. The castle itself, located south of Lannisport and north of Old Oak, Cornfield and Red Lake are to the east. The sigil of House Crakehall is a brindled boar on a brown field. A bunch of Crakehalls are somewhat involved in the story of A Song of Ice and Fire, including Lord Roland, his eldest son and heir Sir Tybalt, his second son Sir Lyle, also called Strongboar, his third son Sir Merlon, and his brother Sir Burton. Unspecified relations to Lord Roland include Shiera Crakehall, the wife of Damien Lannister, a cousin to the main branch, as well as Amory, who was the third wife of Lord Walder Frey and the mother to 7 Freys, and those 7 being Hostine, Lythine, Simon, Danwell, Merritt, Jeremy and Raymond, so a numerous bunch. In history, the Crakehalls claim descent from the first men. Their founder, Crake the Boar Killer, was from the Age of Heroes. Other noted members of House Crakehall in history include Sir Aubrey, who defeated King Hagon Hoare and briefly ruled as King of the Iron Islands. A former Roland Crakehall was one of the 3 Kingsguard knights that went to the Ashford tourney, as told in the Hedge Knight. He fights on the side of Prince Aerion Brightflame during the Trial of 7. He also led the Loyalist forces that thwarted the Second Blackfire Rebellion. More recent in history, a young Jaime Lannister squired for Lord Summer Crakehall against the Kingswood Brotherhood. The next Lord Roland, alongside Sir Ellis Westerling, were the first to enter the throne room when Sir Jaime slew the Mad King. When we come to the events of A Song of Ice and Fire, we are first introduced to House Crakehall in the first book, A Game of Thrones. Among the heraldry gathered for the Hound's tourney is a Crakehall knight. Lord Walder Frey questions his paternity over the sons of his third wife, who, as mentioned, was a Crakehall, and calls all Crakehall women sluts. Later in the book, Tyrion Lannister sees the boar of Crakehall among the banners of his father, Lord Tywin. In A Clash of Kings, Sir Burton Crakehall, the brother of Lord Roland, boasts that he has slain Beric Dondarrion, until the Lightning Lord reappears and kills all his men from his column. Lord Roland is reportedly slain at the Battle of Oxcross, but the rumours turn out to be false. Arya spots the brindled boar at Harrenhal. Little Walder Frey quarters his shield to depict the boar of his grandmother's house, his grandmother, Amory Crakehall. In A Storm of Swords, Sir Lyle Crakehall, also called Strongboar, is held captive at Pink Maiden after the Battle of the Fords. Obviously, we learnt about the Pipers of Pink Maiden in the last episode. Among the living men that Sir Jaime considers stronger than him, he includes Sir Lyle Strongboar. Beric Dondarrion shows Arya Stark a spot on his temple where Sir Burton Crakehall hit him with his mace. Sir Merlin Crakehall is one of the nobles that accompany Tyrion Lannister to welcome Prince Oberyn Martell and the Dornish retinue to King's Landing. When we come to A Feast for Crows, Cersei is reminded of King Robert when she looks upon Sir Lyle Strongboar. She is angered at King Tommen's wedding when he remarks that Westeros has 2 queens now. Of course, also talking about Marjorie Tyrell, the actual queen. The Crakehall boar is spotted amongst the gathered nobility that escorts the corpse of Tywin Lannister back to Casterly Rock. Strongboar is seen trading with Lance at King's Landing. Sir Lyle Strongboar joins Sir Jaime Lannister's expedition to end the siege of Riverrun. During their trip, they cross a place a place named South Horn, where old Sir Roger Hogg defends his tower house. Strongbow remarks Sir Roger's size, jesting that he could be descended from the Crakehall line. After the sack of salt pans at Derry, Strongbow insists that he will slay the hound. Jamie thinks that the hound is quicker and fiercer than Sir Lyle. Lyle consoles Lady Amory Frey, granddaughter to Amory Crakehall, his distant kin, and promises that he will return to deal with Dondarrion after Riverrun. He and Amory share passionate looks. One night at Harrenhal, Jamie sees Strongbow and Sir Flement Brax sparring against each other. After the siege of Riverrun ends peacefully, Strongbow is angry that he didn't get the chance to fight. He then rides back to Derry to fulfil his promise, accompanied by beardless John Betley, and that's the last we have of Crakehall, the House Crakehall. They do not appear in the Dance of Dragons. The Caswell, this is going to be a short one, by the way. The Caswells, a very short one. The Caswells of the Reach reside in Bitterbridge. Their sigil is a golden centaur firing a bow on a white field. The Lords of Caswell hold the title Defender of the Fords. Bitterbridge itself, formerly known as Stonebridge, is situated where the River Mander meets the Rose Road. The castle is small, made of stone and timber. The keep is squat, but the lands around are low and flat, making it seem taller. There is only one named member of House Caswell, the Lord Laurent, who has 2 unnamed daughters and 4 unnamed sisters. In history, other known Caswells include Orbit Caswell, who served as Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. During a civil war known as the Dance of the Dragons, Tom Flowers, the bastard of Bitterbridge, was one of the commanders in the Battle of the Honeywine. He was burned by the dragon Tessarion. The Caswells were loyalists during the Blackfire Rebellion. Our introduction to House Caswell comes in A Clash of Kings. Lord Laurent is described as a wispy young man. He follows Mace Tyrell in declaring for King Renly. Renly's host encamps outside the walls of Bitterbridge, which is where Lady Catelyn Stark meets him. She finds Renly's army engaging in tourney and feasting upon her arrival. After Renly's death, Storm's End, Lord Laurent shuts himself away in Bitterbridge. That's really it. We don't get much of them at all, apart from in Feast for Crows they're mentioned. While searching for Sansa Stark, Brienne of Tarth encounters 2 guards at the gates of Maidenpool wearing the livery of House Caswell. This indicates that they once again followed their liege lord the Tyrells in swapping over to Joffrey and declaring for him. This is probably my shortest recap I've done yet. I've mentioned before that some of these recaps will be shorter than others. Some of these houses, in fact most of these houses, have less to do with the overall story as others. House Caswell is among them. Expect more short ones in the future, and perhaps we'll get more to do with them in future books. You know, maybe, maybe not, but for now we'll have to settle with what we have. The Mallisters of Seaguard in the Riverlands are one of my favourite houses. Their words are above the rest, and their sigil is a silver eagle on a purple field. They are one of the most prominent houses of the Riverlands, and have a famous distrust of the Ironborn. Seaguard the fortress was built on the western coast along Iron Man's Bay. It's sheltered by the Cape of Eagles. The name Seaguard also refers to the town surrounding the castle. There are few known Mallisters throughout the events of Song of Ice and Fire. Lord Jason Mallister, a mature man, yet still strong and handsome. His son and his heir, Sir Patrick, and Sir Dennis Mallister, his uncle, and the commander of the Shadow Tower in the Night's Watch, up at the wall. In history, the Mallisters conquered most of the Cape of Eagles from the Ironborn during the reign of King Torgod Greyeye. In the century following the fall of House Justman, which you can check out in the World of Ice and Fire book, the Mallisters were petty kings. Lord Peter Mallister rose against the Storm King of House Durrandon, who controlled the Riverlands, but had a brief and inglorious reign before his defeat. They aided Aegon the Conqueror during his conquest and rebelled against King Harren the Black, who was king of both the Iron Islands and the Riverlands. Other known members include Sir Desmond Mallister, who befriended the Ironborn, Lord Lyman Mallister, who unhorsed Sir Criston Cole, Sir Joseph Mallister in the Ashford tourney, and Geoffrey Mallister, who was one of Brandon Stark's companions that were accused of treason and executed by the Mad King in King's Landing to kick off the Roberts Rebellion. When we come to A Song of Ice and Fire, we first meet them in A Game of Thrones. Lord Jason Mallister is seen by Catelyn Stark on the road while he is heading to the Hand's tourney in King's Landing. In the tourney, Lord Jason is unhorsed by Sir Aaron Santagar. The Mallisters join the northern host when Robb Stark rides south from the twins. Lord Jason is named one of the nobles that King Joffrey insists swear fealty to him will be named traitor. Sir Patrick Mallister, his son and heir, rides with Robb Stark in the Battle of the Whispering Wood and the following Battle of the Camps. Meanwhile, Jason holds a subordinate command and captures Sir Gawain Westerling. In A Clash of Kings, Jason and Patrick accompany Theon Greyjoy on their way back to Seaguard. Jason commands the defence of 4 fords during the Battle of the Fords, repulsing all comers. Nobody getting past him. In the Storm of Swords, Lord Jason is among the 7 nobles who launched the funeral boat of Lord Hoster Tully. Jason brings the captain of the Mirrorham, who breaks the news that Balon Greyjoy is dead and that Euron Crowseye has taken the Seastone chair on the Iron Islands. Jason reports that his fleet consists of half a dozen longships and 2 war galleys. Robb orders him to send one of his ships into the Neck, carrying Glover and Madge Mormont to find Howland Reed. Of course, we learnt about that before. We talked about the Glovers. We've not talked about the Mormonts before. Sir Patrick, one of Robb's guards, is captured at the Red Wedding. Up at the wall, Sir Dennis Mallister, as mentioned, the commander of the Shadow Tower, so a high-ranking officer in the Night's Watch, is considered the leading contender to become Lord Commander of the Night's Watch after the death of former Lord Commander Duel Mormont, the Old Bear. He does step aside so Jon Snow can win. In A Feast for Crows, Blackwalder Frey threatens to hang Sir Patrick unless his father, Lord Jason, surrenders. Jason eventually bends the knee. Although they have renewed their fealty to the Iron Throne, the banners of Mallister are noticeably absent from the Rivermen forced besieging Riverrun. And that ends what we have on the Mallisters so far. As mentioned, they are one of my favourite houses. Although, they're barely in the centre of focus, I really hope you get to see more of them in the future. Because I like them. They seem like a cool house. They seem like they could be a force in the future. Yeah, I hope you get more of them in the Winds of Winter. And as we wrap up now on House Mallister, we wrap up on this episode of Where in the World. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you have found at least some of what I said helpful in your quest to gain as much knowledge of this world as possible. Remember to find me on Twitter at GoWesteros. Drop me a comment, a tweet, some advice, some criticism, or just say hello. I've been Jack, your host, and I'll see you later.